Good morning. This morning we're going to do it a little bit differently. We are going to, because we're entering the season of Lent, we're going to start highlighting these next few weeks spiritual disciplines that Christians often do in the season of Lent. And then after that, we'll do our prayer and then we'll do our message. But to highlight a spiritual discipline, Nancy Wagner is kind of the one spearheading this. She'll do most of the teaching. But today, I was going to emphasize for us the spiritual discipline of fasting, and then give a couple suggestions for individuals or families to do. Before I start, though, I just want to explain a little bit. Fasting in the Bible is a little multifaceted. There's different elements. So oftentimes in the Bible, fasting is about a deep, heartfelt repentance. It's like a way of expressing what is going on inside of us. It's a heartfelt repentance. Often it comes with even mourning or grief when we are experiencing intense emotions. Also, we see fasting can be precedes empowerment for mission, or possibly a discernment for direction when we're seeking God, asking God what direction we want to go. And that's typically how fasting is used in the Bible. This morning, what I want to talk about more is the spiritual discipline of fasting, which is what Christians might do for a season in order to help draw near or closer to God. So the idea is that you are setting aside something good for the purpose of pursuing something better. You are giving up feasting on food for the purpose of feasting on God or Christ or his gospel. So one of the questions people often ask is, what do Christians fast from? What is it that Christians give up? Like, is it only food, or do Christians give up other things? Now, in my opinion, nothing quite compares, I think, to giving up meals, entire meals, as a form of fasting as a discipline. Food is not only a good and beneficial thing, food is necessary for life itself. And so you are temporarily giving up something that is good, that is necessary, in order to feast on something that is better. I would also add that there's a physical discomfort that comes when we give up meals, when we give up food in that way, that can sharpen our focus and help recall our attention in a way that giving up other things just simply doesn't do. So it's hard to replicate the effects of fasting with giving up something other than food. It's hard to replicate that and the benefit. I would also add, fasting in the Bible is always food. We never see fasting used in anything else, any other way. However, there are Christians that do and have benefited from giving up other things in their life. So in recent years, I've heard Christians talk about giving up television or giving up social media, maybe giving up the radio while driving in the car, or giving up reading the news or following sports, those types of things. These can all be helpful and beneficial things to give up. And you can practice these by yourself, or you can partner with another Christian friend, someone that you live in community with. Now, if you're part of a family, you have children, maybe your family wants to try to do something all together, supporting one another. The whole family is going to abstain from something. Again, if you're going to do this, I would encourage you try meals, would be first and foremost. But maybe, especially if you have young kids, that could be a hard thing to do. Emmett would not understand, I don't think, if he had to give up not eating a meal for a day. So again, age, all of this matters. I would also add that I think fasting has to be undertaken with the right heart and the right motivation. I don't think it's something that you force on others against their will or guilt them into it. So if you do want to do something like as a family, just making sure like everyone's on board and maybe asking, what do you want? What would you want to do? What would you want to give up as a family for a season? I would encourage, if you're going to do something like that, to use the time to maybe do something together as a family. Maybe this is talk about God, talk about faith, read the Bible together, something like that, that you're filling the time with. You're not just giving up something and then just kind of going your own ways, but that you're doing this together. So I'll just kind of end with this. If you've never fasted from a meal or from several meals in a row, I would encourage you to try this practice. And if you want to discuss or talk more about fasting or practical ideas for fasting, you can talk afterwards with myself, with Nancy Wagner, with Tiffany. Would be happy to visit with you more about that.